Today we're diving into what it's like to live in this upstate South Carolina region and what that means. My name is Elizabeth McCarthy. I'm brokered by eXp Realty, and my family and I, we moved and relocated here from Massachusetts a few years ago, and we had quite the experience and have done lots of learning about the area in the last few years. Thank you for following me on YouTube at This Loving Life in Greenville, South Carolina. You can find me on my Instagram and Facebook at emccarthy.realtor. So let's talk about the location of the upstate South Carolina. This location is on the western side of the state, close to the Blue Ridge Mountains, close to Tennessee and western North Carolina. Greenville and Spartanburg are the two well-known cities that are in this region. They are approximately 2 hours from Charleston and about, I would say, an hour and a half from Columbia, which is in the middle of the state, about 50 miles from Asheville, and maybe about an hour and a half from Charlotte, depending on where you are. So it has close proximity to Atlanta, Charlotte, Asheville, and Columbia, which is really, really convenient and nice. So we were drawn to this area because of the local community, the local small businesses, the farmers markets. This area is so close-knit. People are very welcoming, and when they talk about Southern charm, you really get that sense here. Our family particularly loves to garden. We wanted to start a homestead, so being in this region made a huge difference because we just gained a lot of our season from the weather. Being able to garden all year round is sort of like a dream to us. So we've been able to actually do that. This past year was the first year we really started off, in that early spring and went all the way. I still am growing some things this winter, which is very, very cool for us and just something that we always desired and wanted. So let's talk about the weather a little bit. South Carolina is known for some drastic up and downs in temperature, especially in the winter. You can have some cold days, some cold temperatures in the morning. Sometimes it can be in the 20s, in that early morning. But most of the time, in about the late afternoon, the temperature can go up to 20 degrees above that. So even though it does get cold, it doesn't tend to stay in that cold temperature. Maybe a few days here and there, but honestly, there's always the turnaround. So take today, for example. It really is only 40 degrees here. It is raining, which the rain is kind of great. It's part of the season that we're entering into, like this early spring. But tomorrow it will be in 65 degrees. So yes, it does get cold, but it won't stay that way. So ideally, like for our situation, that really mattered to us, right? Having that weather, having those seasons, and not just staying very cold for a long time. Up in Massachusetts, we just felt so stifled inside and not able to do what we wanted to do with our time because, even starting from October to April in New England, you never know. This weather pattern could be freezing and snowy and just kind of a whole different feel. And we couldn't deal with that anymore. So for our family, it definitely worked. And for our gardening purposes also was great to kind of change that weather pattern and be able to grow and have the ability to grow things all year round. So another thing that really drew us to this area, like I said before, was that local community, that just close-knit people working together. Anywhere we went, you could feel it, you could sense it. People were just warm and welcoming, especially when we first moved into the area. We didn't quite know where things were at. Our neighbors sort of pointed us in the right direction, but just in going to the stores or local markets, talking to people, they said, "Oh, you should go check this out," or "I'll find, here's my information. Give me a call. I'd be glad to help you." And I think sometimes that gets really, really lost. And for us, that was truly just impactful to have those people who are willing to talk to you, who are willing to reach out, who we didn't know. Also, the markets, the farmers markets, and actually they've all different kind of markets. They are year round, and especially in Greenville and Spartanburg, even in the winter, you have these local markets where farmers are still producing those vegetables for you to purchase, but also small businesses that have coffee to offer, coffee shop. Some of them have like a mobile coffee business, right? But they're able to go to these different markets. So those markets were really a big deal. And to this day, we're very heavily involved with that community. We've met a lot of good people and good friends, and it's made a huge difference in our lives. I think one of the biggest factors for us in moving here also was the affordability, just in this area in general. The median list price in Greenville is around $400,000. In Spartanburg, the median price is about 270, 265. And so it really opens the doors to the possibilities of the house that you can buy, the land that you can buy. Very different up in Massachusetts price point. So that was definitely a huge factor for us. And we were able to, get that house that we could afford. And that certainly was a big deal. So all in all, these are the reasons why our family, embraced this region. I think it's full of great opportunities. Both of our children are starting their own businesses, and it just seems like they have that opportunity, those chances. We've already had things in place for them as far as just meeting some of the right people. So they're already having an experience, and they're not yet 18. So I just think it will further them down the road to see what they want to do and how they want to do it and how they're going to grow, what they're going to grow to become. So let's connect if this is something that is resonating with you. And you want to know more about this area. There is so much to learn and know, but if you're really seeking community, having that ideal weather, maybe starting that garden or homestead, these are all things that I definitely have experience with, plus relocating. I have moved so many times, my children told me actually 14 times in about 5 years. So we became really good about how we pack, what system we have, where we need to store things, what companies to use, what boxes to use. What tape to use, right? You really, when you move that many times, you learn a lot. Also, how to, minimize. That was our biggest lesson. So if you are also experiencing that, I would love to connect with you. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook at emccarthy.realtor. You can private message me. You can comment below here and send me out a message. I will reach out to you. My email and all of my information will be in the description below. So be happy to make that connection.